Everyone is looking for puzzle solutions in Silent Hill 2 Remake, so we thought we'd make this handy video of solutions to help you knock them out with ease. A lot of these are the top search for puzzles, but if we missed one you're stuck on, I promise it's covered over on ign.com/wiki/silent-hill-2-remake, which is also linked in the description below. Feel free to jump to the time code of the puzzle you happen to be stuck on. The first one you're going to encounter is the Jukebox. This will require you to repair a record, find a button, and a coin located around town. Here are the locations you need to go to get those items on your map, but let's go through what you need to do at each. Your first stop should be groovy music. Smash the window to get into the back room after fighting off some enemies, and you'll find the record and glue required to proceed. Quickly repair the record by combining the items in your inventory. A record store note sends you to the person's home at Saul Apartment Buildings. Go inside the apartment building, go into the back room, push the bookcase out of the way, and grab the apartment key. Head to the second floor and climb through the open duct. Enter apartment 5 using the key to get around the debris, and head to the fire escape. Go back inside via the window and take a look at the journal in the apartment before sticking your hand into the gross hole to get the number 2 key for the jukebox. Now make your way outside to get to the Texan Cafe on the east side of Cat Street. Go inside and get to the cash register to get the coin. Once you have all these items, head back to Neely's bar and solve the jukebox puzzle. Reconnect the parts in the jukebox, lower the spring so the arm can come out, and put the record on it. Install the button and insert a coin to play the song C2. A cutscene will play at this point, and you can move on to the next puzzle. The Keypad code, Grand Market, East South Vale. Solving the keypad puzzle at Grand Market is optional, but here's how to do it anyway. Hint, the parked truck has a hint, but you'll need to fight some people to find it. The solution is 4442 on light, 4444 on standard, and 4446 on hard. Inside, you'll find a ton of loot to enjoy. If you're playing through Silent Hill 2 and you're stuck on the safe puzzle, the solution is in the room with you. Seriously though, it's right there on the wall. I'll teach you how to read it, but depending on the difficulty level, it does change just a little bit. We're playing on normal. We have playing through on light, and the solution on light is right 15, left 11, right 13. On standard and hard, the solution is right 13, left 7, and right 11. Now, the way this is solved is by simply reading the text on the wall in front of you. Our playthrough on normal reads as follows. Right where the rooftops pierce through the night indicates you need to find the rooftops in the room for the first number, and that would be your solution to turn to on the right. Left are homebound footprints with no owner in sight. For this one, you look on the wall to the left of the text you've just read to find the house with footprints going to it for the next number. And on a river of memories leading right to this hell. That would indicate that the river with a number below it is the final solution. Well, not the hardest puzzle, that's how it's done, and a breakdown of how the text explains it to you. The Woodside Apartments Coin Puzzle. The Woodside Apartments challenge you with finding 3 double-sided coins. The man coin can be flipped to reveal a blade. The maiden coin has a grave on its other face. The flower coin's other head is a snake. To find those, visit our wiki, but here are the answers on each difficulty. On light, the answers are man, maiden, flower, blade, maiden, snake, snake, grave, man. Then place the man or woman coin up top to proceed. On standard, the answers are man, maiden, flower, blade, maiden, flower, man, blade, snake. Then place the man or the woman coin up top to proceed. On hard, the answers are man, gravestone, snake, gravestone, flower, sword, man, woman, snake. Then place the man or woman coin up top to proceed. The Moth Puzzle is a bit involved to solve for, but it involves looking at the symbols next to the lock and the moths in a nearby room. That said, I'll just give you the answers assuming you've hit this point in the game, but a TLDR is that the moths in apartment 202 hold the key. On light, the answer for the code is 582. On standard, the combination is 373. On hard, the combination is 522. This will give you access to the second hand from the gross hole in the wall. The Silent Hill 2 Motel Safe Code, aka Safe Code Hotel Key, it's pretty easy. To get through the back gate at the Jackson, you'll need to figure out the combination to the safe under its reception's desk. On light, the solution is 0451. On standard, it is also 0451, and on hard, the riddle changes a little bit, making the solution 0533. Open the safe to get the gate key. Now, diving into it just a bit, on your first run, it requires you to break into room 107 via the weak wall in room 108 and take the toolbox memo off the desk. This always contains a riddle that, when solved, will produce the safe's 4-digit key code. The hint on light was no money for the 5th onesie. On standard, the riddle was a bit more confusing, but we came to the same conclusion. On hard, it was a full page of text, but the solution was 0533. The Hospital 2 safe code, or the Brookhaven Hospital reception office key locker. Let's get into this one. As you're looking for a way to get to the second floor of Brookhaven to find Laura, you'll happen across a key locker in the reception office, as well as a department memo that cautions hospital employees not to simply leave important passwords laying around everywhere. Well, we found them for you. On light, you're given the first 2 digits in the nurse's memo, and the third is equal to the number of doctors in one of the nearby photos on the wall in the lobby, the solution being 287. On standard, the memo reads nurse, doctors, trees. That corresponds to several of the nearby frame photos. 724 is the solution. On hard, the riddle is a bit of a trick, so we'll just say the solution is 152. The nurse's station code is solved by looking around the room for a piece of paper on the wall. On light, you'll find a piece of paper with a slash on it, and the code on light and standard is 3578. On hard, the memo will have a tic-tac-toe game that ends in a stalemate, and that code is 7456. The X-Ray Puzzle in the nurse's station will have you line up some radiographs to move forward in Silent Hill 2. Most X-rays are found in the room, but one is missing. Now you can find that radiograph in the treatment room in 2F. Then clean it with the mold remover from the pantry on 1F. Use it and the radiograph of a pelvis on a light box to start the puzzle. On light and standard puzzle difficulty, each of the 4 available radiographs have a couple of black lines drawn on them that match lines on the light box. If you line up the markings, the scratches on each radiograph will come together to form numbers. On hard difficulty, the only radiographs that have any additional lines are the ones that were already on the light box when you started. Your only guide is to roughly line up the scratches on each radiograph with one another, which is basically trial and error. The bracelet puzzle requires that you collect several bracelets before you're able to put in the solution. You're going to need to get the bracelets, so here's where they are. To get the marked bracelet, go to the nurse's lounge on the 2nd floor to get the L1 room key, enter L1, which is just down the hall, and use that hole in its back wall to enter medical records on the 1st floor. The marked bracelet is in the blanket fort. To get the bloodstained bracelet, get the bent needle from the women's locker room on the 2nd floor and get the medical tube from the shower room outside the pool. Combine the two to make the medical tube with bent needle attached. This can be used on the clogged drain in the pharmacy to fish up the maintenance key. That key lets you open the hatch in the pool and drain the water. Now you can enter the pool and break the wall on the deep end to find the bloodstained bracelet. Finally, to get the moldy bracelet, you need to solve the X-ray room puzzle. Once you've done that, and we've got a whole guide for it if you need more help, you'll learn the combination to the lock on the door of room D3. The solution, regardless of difficulty, is right 4, left 37, right 12. This can be used to open the lock on room D3's door. That means all you have to do is enter D3 and take the bracelet off the bed. Long story short, the solution is as follows for standard and hard. The bloodstained bracelet is on top with the number 92 in the middle, the marked bracelet is in the middle with 45 in the middle, and the filthy bracelet is on the bottom with the number 71 in the middle. This gives you access to the doctor's storage room key. Keep that safe code on the top of your mind. It was 924571 as a reminder. Once you go into the door, you'll be presented with a tricky book puzzle. Rearrange the books to make the picture of a lion to start. You will also need the safe button for the safe as a note. Next, look at your map to see the set of symbols added to your map at the book puzzle's location. Long story short, you need to enter the symbols that represent the numbers 9, 2, 4, 2, and 7, 1. Once completed, you get the rooftop key, which you can use to exit at the top of the staircase found in 3F. On the elevator ride to the basement in the Otherworld Hospital, you'll be treated to a radio call-in program over the elevator's loudspeaker. This challenges you to a test of Silent Hill historical trivia, but doesn't give you a chance to respond. The first question, how many souls were lost during the plague in Silent Hill? The answer is number 267. The second question, what road will you take from the Sanders Street to the lumberyard? The answer is 3, Wilst Road. I think I'm saying that right. Question number 3 is, what was the name of Billy Locane's sister? The answer is 1, Miriam. And you only get one shot at solving the trick or treat puzzle. There is a save point right outside of the pharmacy, however, so there's nothing to stop you from brute forcing the solution by reloading your last save. Now, to get in the puzzle box, the correct code is 231. Put it into the puzzle box to receive 2 boxes of shotgun shells and 2 syringes. If you get any of the questions wrong, the box stays closed and James takes some damage. If you get them all wrong, James takes a lot of damage. You can also just walk away and not mess with the box at all. The Toluca Prison Gallows Riddle. When you use the execution lever on the gallows, the mural in front of you becomes interactive. Inspect the mismatched couplets on the plaques. You can match these together to create short poems that describe the 6 hanging prisoners on the gallows around you. As the inscription on the mural suggests, one of these 6 condemned prisoners was justified in committing their crime, and you have to determine which one it was. We'll explain it more in just a moment, as each solution is random, but basically the solutions are as followed. Light. Each poem is a 4-line couplet. All you have to do is match the poems that rhyme. On standard, the couplets are slightly more elaborate, but the general theme is the same. And on hard, each confession is 8 lines long, and the 2 pieces of each poem no longer rhyme with one another. You'll have to match them together based on their individual scenarios. So the 6 prisoners include an arsonist, a thief, a man who kidnapped and killed his daughter, and a vandal, a murderer, and someone who killed their mother. Each one is described with a short poem. There are 6 nooses hung on the gallows, each of which is labeled with a Roman numeral. When you come to a decision, pull on the noose that has the same number as the justified criminal's couplet. Here's the trick. On every puzzle difficulty, the solution here is random. There is a chance that any of the 6 prisoners will turn out to be the one who was justified in committing their crime, and their poem/confession will change between runs to reflect that. The only real difference between difficulties is how much reading you have to do. In the end, this is down to you making a judgment call. Now, if you pull the wrong noose, James is unceremoniously dumped into an underground chamber full of monsters. You can get back to the yard via a ladder on the other end of the room and try again. If you pick the correct noose, James will be dropped into the prison's morgue and you'll be able to continue the game. The music box is the last puzzle you'll encounter in Silent Hill 2 Remake. To open the music box in the lobby, check behind the front desk to get the ornamental key. You can do this right when you first enter the hotel, but you need 3 figurines to solve the music box, and you'll spend most of your time in the hotel looking for them. The first one you can find is the Snow White figurine. Go find an apple in the hotel. There's a rotten apple in the garden on a bench, or a ripe apple in the hall on the 2nd floor. You also need to visit the hall to find the key to room 202. In room 202, take the mirror shard off the bed, then use either apple to start a jigsaw puzzle. Reassemble the mirror. When it's complete, you'll be able to find the Snow White figurine in room 201 next door. Your choice of apple affects your ending. The ripe apple gives you points toward Maria's ending, while the rotten apple gives you points towards the leave/in water ending. The Cinderella figurine is locked inside the fireplace in the conference room on the 3rd floor. When you first spot it, you'll be able to take the key to room 107 off the fireplace, use it to open that hotel room, which has an open door to a new part of the hotel's garden. Fight your way through it to find the fireplace key in the garden's gazebo, then return to the conference room and open the fireplace. Be ready for a fight though. Finally, the Little Mermaid figurine is in the bar in the hotel's basement. To get there, you need to open the briefcase in room 208 to get the employee elevator key, then sneak through the employee section to find the videotape and basement key. In the hotel's basement, visit the maintenance room for the pump valve, then use it to enter the boiler room, where you find the key to Venus. That lets you enter the bar through the kitchen and take the Little Mermaid figurine off the floor by the jukebox. Now that you have all 3 figurines, you can go back to the music box, install each one, then rotate the 4 discs to give each figurine a stretch of track that they can move along. This is easy to do through pure trial and error. You can rotate each disc independently. Once that's handled, you'll move on to the next stage of the puzzle. You'll be given 3 poems about each character from the figurines, and each poem contains a hint about how many times you need to turn the associated key. We've got the answers for you though right here. When you successfully wound the music box, you'll get the 3F hallway key. The solutions are as follows. Light, the solution is 721. On standard, the solution is 751. And on hard, it's just 1, 1, 1. I hope you found these solutions helpful, but like I said at the top, if I happen to miss any, you can find all of them over at ign.com/wiki/silent-hill-2-remake, which is also linked to in the description below. I got you. And of course, for more on all things gaming, keep it right here at IGN.